Insane Max skinned Walker for like 90 minutes, dude. That was insane. Kyle Walker was probably back on the bus quivering on the way home. It was insane. He had him on leg. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another episode of the Goalpost podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm just super grateful to have you guys here. Thank you guys for tuning in. And listen, last week's video did quite well. I was very, very impressed by that, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful for the response by you guys. It's been unreal for me. It's been unbelievable for me to see how this community of us have just been growing exponentially for the last, not even a year, maybe less than a year. I'm not quite sure, but it's been surreal. It's been extremely bizarre to see how this community has been just booming. And listen, content creation is not easy, especially when you're doing it alongside your real life, your real job, your real work. It's extremely difficult. It's extremely time consuming, but these small wins, these small milestones, they kind of make things worth it. And this was one of those moments for me. So thank you guys so much. I'm super grateful for you guys and this community that we have that is building currently. It's huge. It's already huge, but I am focused and I am more than determined to make it grow even bigger. So hopefully with you guys' help, that will be the case. Enough of that. Now let's dive into the Premier League game week number 3. Let's go. Newcastle 3, Manchester City 3. Newcastle are massive. At this time last year, Newcastle were getting railroaded across the country under Steve Bruce. Their fitness was off, their tactics were found out. But this year, 3-1 up in the first hour against City, the champions of the league. That's unbelievable. Eddie Howe is definitely building something special with this team. Kieran Trippier, man, holy shit, this guy is a dangerous fellow. One of his best games in a Newcastle shirt. This guy's arguably one of the most professional players in the country. Listen, you never hear news about this guy partying around. You never hear about him having one too many pints on a Sunday night. You never hear about this guy beating people up. You never hear about this guy getting robbed or robbing people. He's one of the most professional players in the sport in the country currently. Underrated. And to think that Manchester United rejected him for 18 million. It's unreal. This guy has the minerals to be the future captain for Manchester United. I truly believe that. I mean, look at the performances he's done. He's had 9 games in a Newcastle shirt, and he's already scored 3 free kicks. It's insane the kind of performance he's been putting up for Newcastle, and what he's done at Atletico Madrid cannot go unnoticed. Saint Maximin, you have to talk about this guy. He is incredible. Excellent on the ball. Excellent off the ball. This guy is magic. Holy shit. In fact, that whole front three is liquid smooth. You have Saint Maximin, you have Callum Wilson, you have Almiron. These guys are underrated strikers, dude. These guys are underrated as hell. Saint Maximin skinned Walker for like 90 minutes, dude. That was insane. Kyle Walker was probably back on the bus quivering on the way home. It was insane. He had him on legs. Now, Almiron was the first one to break open the scoring, and he scored the first goal for Newcastle. And isn't that poetic justice? To understand a little bit more what I mean, let's just take a look back at this clip a few months ago.
Number 1. Yeah, number 1. We got to take him off the pitch as soon as possible. Yeah. What else? That's the day. What else? Almiron.
Oh, Jackie. This is poetic justice. This actually means that Almiron currently, as it stands, has more goals in 2022 than 100 million Jack Grealish. Leeds 3, Chelsea 0. Me personally, I have newfound respect for the Ted Lasso of the Premier League, Jesse Marsh. I think he's done well with Leeds. We all thought Leeds were going to go down into the dumps, into a relegation scrap after Bielsa left. But boy, Marsh has done a really good job with that team. Especially keeping the players as well. It was very, very difficult to keep those kind of players, especially with the league and the competitiveness of this league. That being said, that was a massive Leeds performance. They ran 11 kilometers more than the Chelsea players. Now that is what they call running your socks off. If you're a Chelsea fan, it does not get worse than this. Listen, Mendy has some explaining to do. He has got some serious explaining to do after that horrendous mistake that is unforgivable in any stage of football, in any league of football. That is extremely unforgivable. If that was Kepa, if that was Kepa, Chelsea fans would be burning his house down. Let's be honest. They'll be burning his house down. But he has to be dropped. Mendy has got to be dropped next game, 100%. And then you look at Koulibaly. Aronson had him on legs so hard, this guy turned into Kouyaté for 90 minutes. What the hell was going on with that defending, man? He finally ended up with a red card and a front seat ticket at the King Power Stadium for the next game. I imagine Thomas Tuchel took turns kicking these boys up their asses after that performance, as they now face 19th place Leicester City, which is weird to say, but it is true. Leicester City have had a horrendous start of the campaign, and a lot of that has to do with like maybe to an extent tactics, but I think it's a lot to do with the dressing room. I think Wesley Fofana to Chelsea has been a deal in the making, and it's been very, very public. Brendan Rodgers has been continuously asked about it in press conferences, and that dressing room is becoming more and more toxic. It's difficult to be a single unit in a dressing room that is divided. So, that being said, I don't think that's the only problem in that dressing room. I think there are various other problems tactically in the way that Brendan Rodgers sets his team up and the way that the form kind of fluctuates in that team over the season. Leicester City obviously do well for the majority of the season, and then finally towards the end of the season kind of drop off. I think last season they had the most number of days spent in the top four, and they didn't end up in the top four, which is crazy. Thomas Tuchel will storm the King Power Stadium, not just for the game, but he's probably going to want to pull and seduce Wesley Fofana away from the club. And I think the only thing more worrying than Leicester City dressing room is the fact that the backup options on the defenders list for Chelsea, in case Fofana doesn't work out, is Harry Maguire and Adam Webster. Now, if you're a Chelsea fan like me, looking at that is something nightmares are made of. Listen, no one wants to see that. No one, not a single Chelsea fan, will want to see Harry Maguire in a Chelsea jersey, let alone Adam Webster. So let's not even. No, thank you. Okay, I hope. Thank you. Bye bye. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. This was the game we were all looking forward to. We were all looking forward to Liverpool smashing Manchester United in Old Trafford. But what the hell happened? This is what happens when you drop Harry Maguire. This was a much better Manchester United team. They played together. They worked for each other. However, that being said, it was definitely a quick fix solution from Erik ten Hag for that game specifically, because not many other teams in the league are going to give you that space, and not many other teams can play that high line, which is ripe and there for the taking for Sancho, for Rashford, for Elanga. Most teams in the Premier League don't play that way. Most teams play a low block and force the big teams to play their style of play. And if you don't have a style of play, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna look clueless, and that's kind of what we've identified United as for the last half a season or a season or so. So definitely a quick fix for Erik ten Hag for that specific game. But listen, credit where credit is due. Manchester United were incredible on the day. They snuffed out every single Liverpool attack, every single Liverpool chance and opportunity, and they ran riot in that midfield. Erik ten Hag allowed his centre-backs to be centre-backs. He did not ask his full-backs to be centre-backs. He did not ask his midfielders and defensive midfielders to be centre-backs. He just left Varane and Martinez to do that thing. I think they both had exceptionally good games, especially Martinez. I think Martinez had an even better game because of who he had on left back. He had Malacia on left back, who was positionally excellent, aggressively disciplined, and was extremely useful in so many different ways on that left hand side, in defensive transitions, in attacking transition, and he was all over Salah. He was all over Henderson. He was all over Arnold in that game. Listen, and they outran that midfield to bits. And and for that game specifically, I think Liverpool did not have the players. It might sound like an excuse, but Liverpool genuinely didn't have the players to come in and kind of work their magic in a situation like that, because Liverpool can. Liverpool can. We've seen them done it. They've done it before, countless number of times. They just didn't have the players available at that particular time. Thiago was not available, and I think he's one of the main players who would come and change that game for them in that midfield. That being said, Manchester United exploited the Highland extremely well. One of the best to ever do that. And we saw Van Dijk and Joe Gomez on legs that day. Listen, they look far from their best. Alexander Arnold looked far from his best, and so did Andy Robertson. Eventually got substituted as well. So not a good look for Liverpool. 2 points out of a possible 9. A bad start for Liverpool, but I don't think. Am I the only one who thinks this is not that deep? I'm not. I hopefully, hands up if you think this result or these performances from Liverpool are not that deep. Listen, Liverpool fans have been spoiled. Okay, the last season and a half, 2 seasons, they've been spoiled for results. Especially last season when they came to Old Trafford and won 5-0. Listen, that was huge because Liverpool have not had a lot of joy at Old Trafford. Just to put things in perspective, in Liverpool's best season ever, when they won the league, 99 points, they were sitting first. They went to play Manchester United at Old Trafford. In the second half of the season, they were coming off a win, and Manchester United were coming off a 1-1 draw against Steve Bruce's Newcastle. That game ended as a 1-1 draw as well. Now, what's important to know is, had they won that game, Liverpool would then go on to make it 101 points and become the greatest ever Premier League team to exist. Just some perspective for you guys. That being said, I do think Liverpool fans have been spoiled for results. I think it's a glitch in the matrix. I think it's definitely something that's going to be sorted out very soon. Listen, we've seen Jurgen Klopp do his magic, and dare we ever write Liverpool off? They always seem to come back. They never seem to go away, and that's not a good thing if you're a rival fan, and it's the best thing if you're a Liverpool fan. Before we end today's video, there's some more news, and I would like to give a huge shout out to Kirk Pinto for asking me to talk about this topic. We have some more transfer news from Manchester United. Richard Arnold was spotted outside Manchester United and was asked about Anthony, and he seemed quite actually, watch for yourself.
With Anthony. Are we getting Anthony?
Dion!
Yes, we are.
From the looks of it, Manchester United are not yet done with their transfer window. There's business still yet to be done. Anthony, the Brazilian magician from Ajax, is set to arrive at Manchester United for a record fee of 94 big ones. This is a huge transfer, and personally, I thought that Anthony was going to be the first one through the door as soon as Erik ten Hag was appointed as Manchester United manager. I was surprised that it wasn't the case, and I was surprised that United didn't push more. That being said, before Anthony was actually coached by Erik ten Hag, he was kind of your average winger. He would get the ball, stop momentum, take way too many touches, and do way too many step overs, break the play, and it was the attack would kind of break down. And that was the kind of player he was. Very frustrating to look at, very frustrating to play with. But Ten Hag has completely changed the way this player functions. Now he's become much more dangerous, takes way fewer touches, is way more efficient with the way he plays, and is a joy to watch. Technically gifted, talented. This guy could be the biggest thing after Vinicius Jr. Definitely still has to improve on the final third aspect of things, finishing and statistics. He definitely has to improve on that side of things for sure, but he's improved massively under Ten Hag. A left-footed right-sided winger who can play on both flanks. Listen, we've seen loads of them at United, and they're still at United. Rashford, Sancho, Alanga, all three of them can do the same thing. So maybe there's an actual plan there for Erik Ten Hag. Maybe that's his actual plan. Listen, this transfer is huge for Manchester United, but do they really need a winger? How about a box-to-box midfielder? How about an actual proper right back? What about a backup striker in case Ronaldo leaves? Listen, in my humble opinion, this is a great move for Anthony. It's the best move for Anthony. Not the best move for United. Listen, I like the player personally. I like him very much. Very direct, very talented. But 94 million, I'm not too sure about that. Possibly going upwards as well, because I think as of today they have rejected the 94 million bid, if I'm not mistaken. I think Fabrizio Romano has reported that Ajax are demanding way more. So it could go north of 100 million in fact. So that's a lot of money for someone you don't even know is going to bag you goals. Huge risk factor in this transfer. Good move for Anthony. Not so good move for Manchester United, but we shall see how things work out. But with that, I think we're going to end today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Last time the response was insane. The support was unreal. And hopefully we can continue that on this video. And hopefully I can continue making more and more content for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you aren't, then make sure to drop a like on your way out. I will see you guys very soon. Same place, same time. Peace.